You know, sometimes when I see how companies make some decisions or how some companies are run, it really makes me wonder, like, who owns it? Like, are the people on the top, are they actually paying attention? Do they know what they're doing? And one company that can easily fit that definition has to be Twitch. Twitch, 95% of the time, if they have an announcement, it's probably something bad. Every time when you hear Twitch is making a brand new rule, or Twitch is changing their guidelines, you never see people happy. You never see people stand up out of their chair and going like, yes, this is exactly what we needed. Twitch has finally listened. This is amazing. It's always bad news all the time. And today, Twitch ended up making a decision, literally just the biggest case of self-sabotage that I've probably ever seen of all time. And I have seen extreme cases of people just absolutely sabotaging themselves for no reason. This is something different. So now I know what you're wondering. What did Twitch do this time? Well, Twitch ended up breaking one rule that you should absolutely never do, and that is mess with people's income, especially with millionaires' income. If you are running a business, you never do that, because Twitch is literally the core example. They can make as much terrible decisions as they want. We all know that the streamers, the top 1% streamers, are going to stay, and that's an extremely big deal because it's pretty well known now that Twitch is extremely top heavy, and basically all the people on top are basically just running their platform when everyone else is kind of just staying there collecting the rest of the scraps. So we all know no matter how bad or how terrible of a decision Twitch make, those top streamers are probably going to stay. It doesn't matter how terrible the user experience is, because the Twitch user experience is absolutely miserable. Have you tried to watch your Twitch stream? You get hit with absolutely crazy amount of ads, and their VOD system is just extremely bad. There's a literal reason why every single top Twitch streamer have a YouTube channel where they go and upload clips and go upload VOD. And plus, if you try to watch your stream, I hope you love getting hit with like thousands of ads, because that's extremely fun. But no matter how terrible those decisions are, those streamers will stay. But you touch their money, the literal split second, they will turn on you immediately. They will all become unstoppable champions, and they will rush after you. And Twitch does not have the right seasonal mods equipped because they currently cannot fight back against them. What did Twitch decide to do? They decided to change their sponsorship rules. What are the changes, you're saying? So the first change, and one that a lot of people are talking about, is basically saying that now if you have a sponsor, you can only take 3% of the overlay. So basically, if you don't know, when most YouTubers are sponsored by games or sponsored by a company like G Fuel or something, they'll usually have an overlayer on their screen where you can go and like click their code or just have like a link to the website so you can go check it out. Usually it'll be like underneath the stream, and it will take up a big majority of it. Most of them are usually banners that will take up the whole stream. And most of the time, if a streamer needs to like use the bathroom or something, or they're just not on stream and they're not like reacting to a video, and instead of they just leave it on, they'll usually put like an overlay on, and they'll have tons of sponsors on that overlay. Well, Twitch is basically saying that you can't do that anymore. You also can't play any ads you make. I know they like have a fancy word of it, but basically what it means where if you go and make an ad, so let's say you get sponsored by G Fuel again, and you decide to go make like a little, funny ad where you decide to go like dress up as someone, and you get a green screen and you record it yourself. You basically can't do that anymore. That's a no-no on Twitch. Twitch does not like that, and they're absolutely blasting you for doing that. And they also make tons of other decisions on their guideline when it comes to sponsorships, and it leaves people to be extremely mad. They are not happy about this at all. Now, why is this a big deal? I think something that is pretty well known is something that a lot of streamers basically say is that most of their incomes come from sponsorships. Sponsorships are the reason why your favorite streamer probably has a roof over their head. Probably is the reason why they can go and like buy bread and buy cheese so they can go and make themselves a sandwich. So without these sponsorships, it's not really looking good for a lot of people. And this is especially extremely bad for your mid-tier streamers, because let's be honest, yes, the people on top on Twitch, they're going to lose a lot of money from the situation, but even with this change, they're probably going to be fine. Not if you're a lower streamer. If you're a streamer and you only get like 1,000 views, or let's go even lower, you get like 500 views or something, sponsorships are probably paying most of your bills. You probably need those sponsorships just so you can stay afloat and just so you can make it by. And most of those sponsorship deals and most of those sponsorship packages have to play banner ads, and so you can basically keep on making money so you can make a living. That's extremely big for smaller streamers. So if this change officially goes true, I guess goodbye for them. I guess you're putting them in the back because you're never going to see them ever again. And something else that I also thinking about, and the first thing that came to my head when I ended up seeing this change pages is basically every gaming event and every event ran on Twitch is basically just over. You just can't do that anymore. Like, for a good example has to be any esports event. I think it's pretty well known now that esports does not make a lot of money. Man, if you are on esports, you're basically running on hope. And esports does not make a lot of money on big games. Like, you could be streaming an extremely popular game like Valorant or League of Legends or something, you're making absolutely pennies. So let's say you go to something even more smaller, something with even more smaller fan base, like fighting games or something, there's basically no money there. Like, if you go to their vault and see how much money they're making, it's just going to be completely empty. These events basically need sponsorships to run. It's not something that they just want to take, it's something that they have to take. So if this deal goes through, they basically can't run anymore. So like, if you want to go watch a Rocket League tournament on Twitch, well, that's basically not going to happen because you're going to get banned immediately because you're going to go and play ad. And let's say you want to go watch something smaller like a fighting game tournament, and let's even say they're not supported by like a big brand. Let's say it's just two people who decide to come together and they want to go and run a tournament and you can go join. They probably need sponsorships so they can last. They just can't do it anymore. So basically, if you want to run an event on Twitch, it's just not viable anymore. And that is extremely bad. And this is also something that Twitch shouldn't be doing because they're not the only person in the pool anymore. They are other platforms and there's other places that big content creators can go. An easy good example is just YouTube streaming. I mean, if someone is streaming on Twitch and they don't like their decision, they can easily just get up and move to YouTube. And if you're a big streamer, you probably already have like tons of subscribers on a YouTube channel where you're uploading clips or uploading VODs, so you can easily move there and already have a fan base and probably be absolutely fine. Nothing is just stopping them from doing that. And this is something that could actually happen because when this decision ended up coming out, all of OTK ended up coming together and basically saying that if this goes through, they're going to go and leave Twitch. Now, this is an extremely big deal. OTK isn't filled with irrelevant streamers. They're filled with some pretty big hitters and a couple of like the top 1%. A good example is someone like Asmongold, someone where if you've been on the internet, you have probably heard of, or even if you haven't heard of him, you probably have seen a picture of him before. And another good example is someone like Tectone. If you're in the anime community or you watch VTubers, you have probably heard of this man or you have probably seen him before. These are extremely big names. So if this decision goes true and these people decide to just get up and they all leave Twitch and decide to go somewhere else like YouTube or something, that is an extremely big loss for Twitch. Because again, Twitch is extremely top heavy. They basically rely on their top 1% of streamers to stay afloat. If any of these streamers leave, they are losing a lot of money. That is a big deal for Twitch and they could generally be in extreme trouble if this goes through. And I feel like this is going to be a time when streamers are going to leave because again, you're messing with their money. We have seen multiple times that it doesn't matter how bad you make it for the users. If people will get a lot of viewership, they're going to stay. But the split second you mess with their money, they leave. They turn instantly. So I do think there's going to be opportunity where all these big streamers will end up saying that, yeah, we're not going to go on Twitch anymore. They actually are going to get up and leave and go to different platforms. And Twitch could be in extremely big trouble if that happens. And there's also so much other big streamers who have contracts with Twitch are basically saying that when their contract is done, they're going to try streaming on other places. So I don't understand why Twitch now will decide to make a decision like this, especially when competition is extremely high. Now, yes, they did make a response to it, but the response is really bad. It's not good at all. And they basically say that they're going to rewrite it to hopefully explain it more and make it less confusing. So I'm very interested in to see the rewrite and see if it's actually going to make like any different and if it's actually going to make this idea sound good and not sound like absolute trash and garbage. But hey, only time can tell. I don't know what Twitch is doing. Anyway, my name is Lua. This is just something that I want to talk about. You have a good day or night. See ya.